I will now show you how to create a campaign step by step on TikTok ads. It's important to note that before starting the campaign creation process, you need to make a few settings in your business center and in your advertiser account. Settings like tracking pixel. If you intend to advertise using instant landing pages, you need to set them up. If your goal is to promote an e-commerce business, it might be worthwhile to use the catalog tool. You need to complete the setup process for your business center and advertiser account to be ready to create a campaign on TikTok ads. To create a campaign on TikTok ads, I'm already in my business center. I've completed all the configuration steps in my business center. All the steps that have been presented to you throughout the course are necessary for you to be able to develop a campaign on TikTok ads. And to create a campaign in practice, you need to go to the advertiser accounts option, select the advertiser account you want to advertise with, and click on Ads Manager, where you will open the dashboard of your advertiser account, or to be more precise, the Ads Manager. Then you'll need to click on the campaign button, where you will be redirected to this page, and then you'll need to click on the Create button. This is where we will actually create a campaign from scratch. To create your campaign, you'll need to choose how you want to create it, whether it's in simplified mode or custom mode. If you create a campaign in simplified mode, you will have limited access to the general tools in the campaign management process. However, if you create a campaign in custom mode, you can make all the settings without restrictions. Next, you will need to define the goal of your campaign, whether it's to increase the visibility of your profile, get visits and traffic to your website, views on your video, engagement on your profile, promote an app to get downloads, sales, lead generation, or conversions on the website. This can vary depending on your conversion goal. A common type of conversion is a purchase event, which is the most popular. If your goal is to promote a product with the objective of making sales, it might be worthwhile to use the conversions on the website option, but it's necessary to have the pixel installed and configured in your TikTok ads account. There is also the product sales option if you have set up a catalog for your e-commerce, which can be an excellent choice. I will create the campaign with you, which will be a conversions on the website campaign. I will select this option, and here we have two types of campaigns that I have already explained how they work. We have the custom campaign type, in which you will make all the settings and improvements yourself as your campaign progresses. There is also another type of campaign, which is the Smart Performance campaign. This is a type of campaign where all optimization processes are automated, managed by TikTok ads itself. It will identify opportunities and, if necessary, increase the daily cost of your campaign to capitalize on a particular opportunity, and so on. For some people, this may be interesting, while for others, it may not be. In this lesson, I will show you how to create both types of campaigns, both a custom campaign and a smart performance campaign. We will start by creating a custom campaign first. In this case, I will not check this box. If you want to create a smart performance campaign, you need to check this box. Alright, so I will create a custom campaign here. Next, you will make some settings for your campaign where you will need to give your campaign a name. I will put a hypothetical name, ChatGPT prompts. You also have the option to create an A/B test. I have already explained how this option works, where you will create a secondary ad. TikTok will take these two ads, whether it's ad A or ad B, and prioritize the ad that performs better according to the algorithm. There is also another very interesting option that I would personally recommend enabling as long as you have the capital available to spend on your campaigns, which is the campaign budget optimization option. This option automatically optimizes your campaign spending. As soon as TikTok ads identifies an opportunity, it automatically increases your campaign's budget. This can be very interesting to further maximize your profits. An example I can give you regarding this tool is as follows. Let's say you've launched a campaign with the goal of generating sales and it's performing very well. TikTok ads will detect the high sales performance and increase the budget to further maximize your profits. After all, if you're achieving good results with minimal investment, the algorithm will automatically optimize costs as you achieve good results. So I recommend enabling this option. Matthias, I don't want this feature. No problem. You can click on the option to set your campaign budget and specify how much you plan to spend. We have two options, daily budget and total budget. What's the difference between the two? The total budget is a single amount you plan to spend throughout the entire campaign. The daily budget is the amount you want to spend each day in your campaigns. Remember that on TikTok ads, you can only advertise with a minimum budget of $10. In my case, I will use the campaign budget optimization option. I will enable it and set a minimum optimization budget of $10. And then I will click the continue button to proceed to ad groups. Have you understood what it actually is? Next, here in the ad groups, you will need to give a name to our group. So I will name it ChatGPT Segmentation 01. You can create many other ad groups with different targeting to help you identify them. In the optimization location section, if you have an instant experience on TikTok, you'll select it. If your goal is to redirect the customer to an external page with the configured pixel, you'll leave the website option checked and select the pixel you want to use. Below that, you'll choose the optimization event, which is the event through which you tell the ad group or TikTok ads what your specific goal is in this campaign. In my case, we'll select the initiate checkout event, which signifies the beginning of the checkout process. Next, in the placement section, you have two options, automatic placements and the option to select placements. I would recommend selecting the option to choose placements, unchecking the other options, and leaving only TikTok selected. We also have some advanced settings. For example, if you want to disable comments on your ad, allow video downloads or sharing, you can toggle these options on or off. I won't change this option. And finally, at the bottom, that's where we'll select the audience we'll target with our campaign. Oh, Matthias, I've already created a saved audience with you in the previous lesson for my product. You can select it here, the saved audience we defined together in the lesson as our target audience. In my case, I won't select any saved audience and will manually define the target audience with you. So here's the campaign setup process. Regarding the placement, I will target my campaign to specific states rather than targeting an audience aimed at a specific country. I will choose other Spanish-speaking countries like Colombia, Chile, Mexico, and I will leave out Ecuador. And there we go. I will only select these countries. For language, I will choose only Spanish, as there might be tourists in these regions who could see my ad, which would be an unnecessary expense. So I will leave only Spanish. For gender, I will set it to all for both genders because it's a type of product sought after by both genders. As for age, I could target specific age groups from the options below, or I could leave age unrestricted. But since this is a hypothetical ad that I'm not going to launch, I won't specify any age limits. Regarding purchasing power, this is an option I won't change because it doesn't work very well, at least in Spain, and even if it did work, if I chose to target a high-income audience, it wouldn't serve me well because my product targets the general public. At the bottom, we have the audience option, where you can select custom audiences. I don't have any custom audience, so I won't select any. Now, I will define the interests and behaviors of my target audience. I will choose people interested in news and entertainment, business and finance interests, and a niche-focused audience that I plan to target. I will also include an interest in family, which is another niche that could potentially convert into potential customers, as well as financial services and business services. I will leave only these 4 interest options selected, okay? Regarding devices, I will leave the option unrestricted. I want my ad to be visible to everyone. However, I will check the options for Wi-Fi, 3G, 4G, and 5G. I won't display the ad on 2G, and in fact, I recommend you do the same. Why, Matthias? Often, someone with a 2G connection on their device probably won't even be able to see your video. In some cases, they might see it, but in most cases, people can't see it, right? So, I will leave only these types of connections checked, and I won't change the other options. We also have one last option here, which is audience expansion, where you can expand your targeting a bit beyond the bubble so that TikTok ads reaches other people and potentially converts them into future potential customers. You can enable this option if you wish and select which targeting options you want to expand. This way you can do age segmentation in addition to interests, which can be interesting depending on your niche and so on. I will choose only the age segmentation expansion because it could be interesting for my niche. So My segmentation is already set up. I will save this audience, I will mark it as a high quality audience and save it to use in other campaigns. Next, you will set up the budget and scheduling for your campaign. The minimum budget is already defined and you can specify it on the first page in the campaign option. I have a daily budget of 10. We also have the scheduling option below. Here, you can set up two types of scheduling for your campaign. If you want your campaign to run continuously, day after day, without stopping, you can set it up from a specific date and time. You will need to specify the campaign start day and the exact time. If you want to advertise only at specific times, you can use the day parting option and select the specific hours. Or if you want to run a temporary campaign for a week, you can select the other option and set the start and end of your campaign. In my case, I will create a continuous campaign where I want the ads to run all day. Regarding bid optimization, I will simply confirm that the main goal of my campaign is conversions. Here in the bidding strategy, we use a low-cost strategy, and I have already configured my ad groups. On the right, you can get an idea of our campaign segmentation. Regarding the available audience, if we run our ad based on our segmentation, we will reach an audience of 100 to 122 million people. This doesn't mean that with a $10 campaign, you will reach this audience, but it means that the audience you have segmented has the potential to reach that number, right? And here, if you click on segmentation summary, you will see in detail all the parameters of your target audience segmentation. I will click on continue to proceed. Here in ad, this is where we will configure the ad that we will choose for our campaign. So in the ad name, I will put an identification name, so to speak. Put the creative name here, and you can add a number or even the name of the creative you plan to use. This is more for you to identify each part of your campaign. Sometimes you can create other ad groups or use different types of creatives via the ad options. So I will name the campaign Creative Ijo1, and here in identity, I won't link a TikTok ads account, but will use a custom identity. So I will put eChatGPT prompts here and select an image to customize my profile. All right, I've already selected an image and a name for my custom identity profile. Here, you will choose the ad format. So I will upload a creative I already have, a video, and we'll put this into practice. This is the creative I added. You can edit this type of video using TikTok's video editor, as well as change the thumbnail of this video. I will leave the default settings. I won't change much, and here in the text, you will write the headline of your ad. So I will write here, boost your conversations with ChatGPT, the future of intelligent communication is here. This will be the text of my headline, and it will appear like this in my ad. Remember, it's a hypothetical ad. It doesn't mean I will use this ad, it's just a creative. Here in the call to action, you will configure the Learn More or Shop Now button. So click here on the edit button and you have two options, the dynamic option and the standard option. The dynamic option will display a unique call to action for each type of person. For each different audience, a unique call to action. This means that if someone is accustomed to making purchases by clicking the Learn More buttons, the campaign will steer toward that and only show the Learn More button. But if by chance that person is accustomed to buying products by clicking a Shop Now button, TikTok won't show that kind of button. Personally, I like to leave the dynamic option checked because my campaign is further optimized on TikTok ads. You can also add additional interactive add-ons to your creative here, but in my case, I won't do that. In the destination section, you will specify where you want to redirect your customers, whether it's to a website or a TikTok instant experience page. I will direct my customers to a specific link. It's very important to include the link of the already configured pixel. Here's my pixel link, and it's already active. I will select this link and the destination is now configured. So when someone clicks the call to action, they will be redirected to the specific link you've chosen. Here on the right, we have a preview of what the sample ad will look like for the person who sees it. This is a hypothetical creative, meaning I won't use it. You also have the option on the right to add creative variables and get into the realm of smart creative ads. You can insert multiple videos and creatives, and TikTok will take all these creatives and use them in your campaign. The creative that performs the best will take priority. In my case, I won't use this option. At the bottom, there are a few additional options like tracking, which is quite optional and doesn't need to be configured. Check this box, then click the submit button, and your campaign will be complete from the campaign to the ad groups and the ad itself. Next, there's a very important point I want to emphasize for you to be able to submit your campaign. You need to have configured your payment information if it's not already done. You'll need to add funds to be able to launch your campaigns. Another type of campaign you can create on TikTok. Ads is a smart campaign. To create a campaign, click the Get button and select your objective. In my case, I will select the same conversions on the website objective and enable the smart campaign option. I will name it ChatGPT prompts it, so I can identify it as the smart campaign. Then click the continue button to proceed. Here you'll find significantly fewer settings compared to a custom campaign. You will need to select your pixel with the corresponding event, or if you intend to use an instant experience page, select your instant experience. Regarding placement, it already has a predefined placement that you can't configure. As for the audience, the only settings you can change are the location and language. Below, you'll need to set the budget and scheduling for your smart campaign. For a smart campaign, the minimum budget is $4, which is different from a custom campaign. You can set a daily budget of $4. You can also decide if your campaign will run continuously or start at a specific time, as well as configure the dayparting settings. I won't make any changes to these two settings. In the optimization goal, I will leave the conversions option selected. In advanced settings, we are not as interested. And here in ad creation is where you will actually insert your ad creative. So I will put my creative here, which has already been selected. I will add some text for my campaign, so I will write, "Boost your conversations with ChatGPT. The future of intelligent communication is here." You can also enable the smart text option, which can be interesting for some people. I will copy the link here where I will set the destination for my audience. This is my destination link. If you want to direct to an instant experience, select the instant experience option. And here are the tracking settings below, right? This is a setting where you will enter the impression tracking URL. You will then place the link where the site impression event will be triggered, and you will put the link to another page where someone will be redirected when they click on a specific link. This is very important. You should leave it enabled. Once you have filled out all these options, your smart campaign will be set up, and then you can click the submit button. After a specified period, your campaign will become active. Now let's assume that you have already created your campaign and it's active. You will have some metrics added here in the campaign tab on TikTok. We have the status metric, which will show whether your campaign is active or paused. We have the budget, which represents your daily spending, the total cost, which represents how much you've spent from the beginning of your campaign until now. The CPC, cost per click, which means how much you've paid for each click to the campaign's landing page. We have the CPM, cost per mille impressions, meaning for every 1,000 impressions, you'll spend a certain amount depending on the specific targeted audience. Here, the number of impressions your campaign has received will be displayed. Impressions represent how many people have seen your ad. This doesn't necessarily mean they've seen it in its entirety, as some people might have viewed it and then scrolled past it, and it would still count as an impression. We also have link clicks, similar to the previous metric. And also the CTR click-through rate, which is the click-through rate. This metric can show the click-through rate of people who clicked on the landing page or on something else within your external page, and many more metrics. We also have the conversions option, which will show the number of conversions you've obtained through this campaign. This is why it's important that you set up your pixel here so that all conversion events triggered within your campaign are recorded as conversion events. We also have the CPA, cost per acquisition, which is essentially the cost to acquire a new customer. In other words, how much will you spend to acquire a specific customer? Sometimes you run a campaign to promote a $30 product, and you have an average cost of about $10 to acquire a new customer. In CPA, this hypothetical cost to acquire the customer, which would be $10, will be recorded, and you'll earn approximately $20 net, so to speak. In CVR clicks, click-through rate, All the clicks you've obtained on your ad will be displayed, from people who click to view your ad to those who click to access your internal page or instant page. We also have the CVR impressions, impression conversion rate, which represents the conversion percentage based on the impressions you've obtained in your campaign. And here we have the results option, which will display the results you've achieved in your campaign, from conversions to earnings. These are some of the metrics you'll track in the campaign tab on TikTok ads, and that's how you can create both types of campaigns. Can I create both campaigns and see which one performs better, Matthias? Yes, you can create both types of campaigns and leave the one that performs better active, and you can deactivate the other. It will depend a lot on your goal. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions, send me a message here on the platform and I'll see you in the next lesson.